Jumritsu, and good evening to everyone who's here with us today. My name is Aisha, a Zoom's design executive from Singapore, and together with me is Mr. Kuntek Chit, the founder of Zoom's Design, and we will be your hosts for today. Zoom's Design is launching a series of Facebook Live episodes every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Cambodia time. During these live sessions, we will share our industry knowledge on marketing and graphic design to anyone who wants to learn more about this field. You can expect a range of episodes from marketing and designing tips, market trends, as well as management tools to help you boost your business and sales. So, our first episode today is the importance of graphic design for your small business. You will learn 7 reasons why you should invest in a good graphic design and get your business branding on point. So, since this is our first episode, perhaps some of you are wondering what exactly we do at Zoom's Design. Could we get Mr. Chit to tell you a little bit more about Zoom's Design before we kickstart our session today?
Yes, sure. Thanks, Aisha, for amazing introductions, and it's lovely to host it with you on this event, on this live event that we never done before. But it's amazing. So, before we get started on the topics, Zoom Design is a graphic design platform that we provide a graphic design service to our customers, not just only in Cambodia, but all overseas as well. Currently, we have some customers from Singapore, from Malaysia, and other countries beside Cambodia. They use our platform to create their graphic design materials, their promotional materials such as like poster, banner, flyers, website banners, and others material that we provide in a monthly basis package that customer can subscribe us in a monthly basis or yearly basis that they can create a graphic design work and enjoy the graphic design.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chip, for the wonderful introduction about Zoom's design. So, without further ado, let's delve right into the content. So, I'm sure a lot of you here have seen posters and digital ads on maybe Facebook, Google Ads, and YouTube. So, perhaps the first question that I'm sure everyone has on their minds is what exactly is graphic design and how are they used in small businesses? So, Mr. Chit, over to you.
Yes, thanks. Before we jump into like the reasons why graphic design beneficial to a small business, first we have to get to know first like how graphic design is used in small business. In the last 6 to 7 years, I've been in this industry. Some of small business owner they actually don't know why they need graphic design. They have a misconception on they don't need graphic design, they don't need to invest on it, and they don't know actually how it works for their small business. And actually there's tons of used beneficial that they can use in the small business, but today we only pick up four main important part of it that actually that small business owner they use graphic design for their branding, for their marketing, and for their business. So we can jump right into the first part that why how small business owner they use graphic designs. So imagine like even you are small or maybe big companies, every small, medium, big corporations, even you are multi-billion dollar business, you all need branding assets. You all need a branding identity to actually
Yeah.
can connect to the right targets. Yeah. So brand graphic design can create a wonderful, amazing branding assets for your business, even you are small. It can emphasize your company stories, can emphasize your company's your brand personality to the
Yeah.
right customer. And I can give a clear example. Like if you open a toys company, a small business part, you why you need graphic design to create a branding assets to make sure your identity, your personality, your story that you want to convey to your audience in the right way, because it can be a really cohesive look and a very consistencies, and also use the right tool, the right image, the right visuals to actually can attract to. So for example, if you are twice company, you probably need to connect to your end user, which is kids, right? and also connect,
Yes.
yes, connect to their parent as well to actually to purchase your product. So building a branding assets, they need graphic design to work on it. It's just not
Mm.
something that you create by without graphic design.
Yes, exactly. So a strong brand is important, especially for small businesses, because you want people to remember you, right? And your personality. So the thing is, people remember visuals better than a long description. So this is why graphic design is so important for branding. So, Mr. Chit, what are the common types of graphic design used by businesses today?
The common type that used by business today, we have many various types of graphic design. We have like websites, UX, I mean user interface on the website part. We have 3D design. We have another as well like infographics, or some like animation part or illustrators, for example, and for the popular materials that actually every business, not just only small business, medium, also big corporation, they all need nowadays digital and print advertising. This kind of
Yeah.
materials, this kind of graphic design type of materials, you need it every day, every week, or every
Yeah.
month. Your business
Yeah.
cannot uh, attract or run a campaign, run a marketing campaign to your target audience without this kind of material. So let's jump to our next topic, that how graphic design used in a small business. Actually, graphic design can create this type of materials for your small business in a very good
Mm.
way. To be honest, it's very best way that you can create to make sure it align with your branding assets, with your branding identity as well. So
Yeah.
graphic design can make it in a very good visuals, and to
Mm.
create your key message into the right advertising material, to make sure that use in the right channels where your target audience, your target customer is at. So that's how graphic design used in the small business.
Right, that's right. Like everyone, literally everyone, every company needs advertisements for their companies, be it digital or print advertising. So, if I may ask you a follow up question, how much do Cambodian businesses usually spend, like maybe on digital and print advertising per month?
It's really a wide range of we cannot pick, but
And,
it's based on what type of business you are as well. Maybe depend on the industry, and also this depend
uh-huh.
on the type of your business. So I can compare between the small business and like a big corporation or multi brands corporation they
Mm,
spend. So for small business,
yeah,
usually we spend, the minimum that we can actually spend is around like 300 onwards to 1,000 a month or somehow. It can be more than
1,000.
that. Yes, it can be more than that, depend on the the trend of the markets, the type of industry as well. But for the multiple brands corporation, they spend a lot on the advertisings, both digital and print. It can be from like thousands to 10,000s a month if possible.
For,
So it's very like
yeah.
wide range of budget used for each type of industry and type of like depend on scale of the business as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would make more sense because the bigger your company is, the more budget you have, and the more money you can spend on graphic design. And so I guess it's even more important to use that investment to maximize your budget and get the best out of what you invest in. So like with the COVID pandemic also, it is even more important today to, run a digital campaign online. And also this brings us to the next point about engaging with audience.
Yeah, so graphic design can actually easy to engage with your audience, your target customer. So think about this, like your marketing have a strategy to do some promotions campaign on a Christmas day, for example. Right now it's a Christmas season. Every business, even though it's small business, mediums, or a big business, they are trying to do a lot of like promotion campaign on the Christmas right now. So
Yeah.
so everyone they try to create a really cool Christmas wrap kind of poster. So to make this
Yeah.
happen, how can you make it happen if without like graphic design, right? So
Yeah.
and that's how we graphic design can actually engage with your audience, uh, strategize the visual to make sure convey the right message to the right customer, and also actually can increase more return, like retention rate of connect with your audience as well. And it actually can build a good seasonal post or seasonal kind of vibe in your
Yeah.
marketing campaign. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, correct. I've been seeing so many Christmas campaigns like all over the internet for everything,
Yeah.
and like we have to engage with the audience to know more about the designs. I mean, sorry, to know more about the campaigns. So, as you mentioned, businesses have to do marketing on many social media accounts like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Maybe before we move on to the next point, could you tell us a little bit more about Zoom's designs, personal brand, how you engage with your audience?
Like actually, we just change our branding to look more fresh. We just refresh our branding to look more, like very colorful, very fun. Before we change it, it's look very dull, like plain blue all the time. So this is along the way we realized that we need more colors. We need more. We need something to emphasize our brand personality. We are a fun company. We are a creative design, which we want customer to feel the same way. So by
Yeah.
providing more colorful kind of look, like make it happen that actually can attract to the right audience, and also our audience can see how fun we are, actually how colorful we are.
How creative, how colorful, how fun.
Yeah, how creative, how colorful, how fun.
That's right. So, in that sense, after you engage with the audience, graphic design also helps you to tell stories, right?
Yeah, graphic design can help tell story in a better way. Seriously, in the
Mm.
better way. Like imagine you hands in a paper to your customer saying, oh, this is my history of my business, this is the history of my business we established from this year and that year, blah blah blah. Imagine if you just hands in those paper with the plain text, how boring is it,
Yeah.
right? So the customer, they
Yes.
don't have to they will need some time to read all the information at once. It will be look so boring, so dull, so plain. Graphic design can emphasize those to be in the good visuals. We can provide more colors to emphasize important part of the stories. We can provide more icon, uh, more illustration to emphasize the visual even in better way. And especially like the reader, the audience will be easy to follow the stories from step to step as well. Yeah. So
Mhm.
graphic design play a big role in storytelling. If you want to tell a story
Mhm.
to your audience in a good way, in the easy way, graphic design is the one to help you to make it happen. So yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like we can't just tell stories through words because, like you said, it's very boring, and we need color, sometimes to complement the emotions and emphasize the stories. So yeah, that sums up this first question. So maybe I'll just wrap up. How graphic design is used in small businesses. The first is to create branding assets. Secondly, to help you with the digital and print advertising. Thirdly, to engage with audience. And fourthly, to tell stories. So now let's move on to the next question. 7 reasons why your small business needs graphic design. So, Mr. Chit, please.
Yes, thanks, Aisha. So,
Yeah.
like actually, graphic design can use in a very different way, not just only the 4 points that we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
If you want to name it, it cannot. It's like a lot that we can actually use. They can actually beneficial that graphic design can use in a small business. It helps a lot of small
Yeah.
business. So, but we cannot just tell about it all the time in this time. So we have to move on. So our main topics today is focused on the beneficials, the reason why that your small business needs graphic design, and you cannot ignore graphic design after this live, I guess, maybe. But that's something that every small business owner they have to aware of. For the past
Mhm.
6 to 7 years, I've been in this industry. A lot of small business
Wow.
owners they ignore this the importance of how graphic design can actually help them. They don't pay attention to that. They ignore it. They don't pay attention to it. They don't invest their time, their budget to graphic design at all. Which that they always question why their sale is not growing, not boosting up, or why their marketing not connect to the right audience. They waste a lot of time, a lot of money doing the wrong things that they don't
Mm.
understand why actually uh, they have been ignored graphic design all the time. They don't know how it's important. So this is our job,
Mm.
Aisha, yes, you and me here today
Yes.
to emphasize this kind of thing and to make sure all business owner they realize that they need to. So it's come to the first part of the reasons. It's the first impression how graphic design can make it happen. Let me give some example. You go
Okay.
on a date with your partner, your like first date ever. The question to answer is that do you want to look impressive, nice, or you just want to wear your pajamas to your first date? You answer to
I
me,
wanted to
Aisha.
see. Yeah.
You have to look nice and very impressive to look at, right? You want to impress your partner. So that's
Yeah.
graphic design helps you for your small business. You just new into the markets. You just new in for your customer. So you don't want to look bad to your customer. You don't want to look cheap to your customer. It's important. This is important. You want to grab
Yes.
their first impression, to grab their attention as quick as you can. And first impression is very important. And how graphic design can make it happen, and it's very beneficial for every business owner. Graphic design can build a good impression to ensure your brand appeals to your customer, to make sure they get your attention very quick, and then you can move on to the next level. Graphic design can help to make you to attract to engage with your target customer in the easy way. That
Yeah.
you can spend less time on it. I can give
Yeah.
example like people nowadays they've been using mobile phone, they're using a social media, especially like Facebook. They scroll, and you are not only you're only not a single player in the market. You have other key players as well in the market. So your
Yeah. Right.
competitors, your rival, they do a lot of things to make sure they look impressive. Uh, they
Mhm.
grab their attention. So if you're not on the game with them, so you will look in the back. You will be in the background, and your competitor will pop up to your audience. So you have to grab the attention first. So that's how first
Yes.
impression is coming up when you provide more times or like invest more money or times to a graphic design.
Right, because customers usually look at ads for only 8 seconds. So customers, I mean, companies always have 8 seconds to make that first impression,
Yeah.
and you need the customers to stay long enough on their website because you want them to move to the next stage of building trust.
Yeah, so this is the second stage after you grab the attention from the customer. It's the second stage that you after you give a first impression. Again, I using a date with your partner as an example. It's the easiest example because it related to all of us. it, so like after you provide a first impression to your partner, what you do next is like building trust, right? To make sure your partner
Yeah,
trusts you, to make sure your
yeah,
partner can rely on you. So
yeah.
in
To make
small,
sure my partner will go on another date with me.
yes, to make sure your partner is go on another date with you. So in small business, that's building trust to your target customer. Um,
Yeah,
After you grab their attentions, they say, "Hey, oh, you look interesting." And then if they click on your social media page, for example, or they click on your website, and they see on your website. For example, if they go on your website and they see your website look ugly, for example, like the color is off, the text is off, the layout is off, the brand is look cheap, for example. So their trust is like getting less important. They don't actually think that you are the right partner that they want to purchase your service or your products. So building trust can provide that, and graphic design can provide that to make it happen. Graphic design can make your websites more, like infomercials, more attractive, more professional. Graphic design can make your social media look shine, look pop up, look dominant among your rivals. Graphic design can make your poster, your informations, your flyer, your pamphlet to like to look more in a better way. Actually, that the customer they can see all the important information that you want to give to them. So and that's how graphic design help small business to build trust among their target customer.
Speaking on this building trust, right? So, how does it lead to the next stage about enhancing sales?
Yes, it's the third steps. Yeah. So first you give a good first impressions. So you grab the attention, and then you build trust. People they trust your brand, they trust your company, they trust your business, they trust your service. And the third step is enhance sales. So I give an example. You asking your sales representative to go on sales to your customer. Yes, so it's related to every business owner. Your sales representative,
Yep.
even you yourself as the business owner, you go to meeting with your customer, you not go empty-handed. Correct. You have to have something. You have to have your website ready. You have to have your PowerPoint presentation ready. You have to have your flyer ready, your company profile ready. You cannot go
Correct.
empty-handed because you yourself cannot just convince your customer to buy your product without any visual to show your products, your service benefits, your company profile, and everything. So graphic
Yeah.
design can actually can make this happen. It's like a magic tool, like a magic tool that can create a very cool looking flyer or very trustable professional company profile. So when you go on meeting with your customer, you show them the website, you show them the company profile, and then they see, oh, actually it's good, right? Or like this and like that. You pinpoint the important message to your customer. So that's how graphic design create this tool like a magic, and then you can enhance yourself very fast.
Mm.
Hmm.
That's right. Like we shouldn't underestimate the power of persuasion, right, in
Yes.
graphic design. Yeah. So maybe we could move on to how graphic design can help create employee pride.
Yeah, so graphic design is not all about like building trust, first impressions, or engage to your externals or your audience, your target customer. It also have internal process as well, especially talking about employee pride, talking about unite your members, unite your team, unite your staff. It's here. It's graphic design
Yeah.
can build a good brand consistencies to build a good identity based on the personality of the brand you want to convey to your to your employee as well. uh, One example is like that you have your employee go on a dinner with their friends, and their
Yeah.
friend is working in the rival company. And for example, in the Christmas seasons, and their friends company do a very cool poster, like a very 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 interesting poster that in the meeting they will bring it up to the conversation. Oh, I can see your company do a promotion for your blah blah blah, for example. And so their friend is very proud to say that yes, this is my company, we have a promotion. And your your poster of Christmas looks so cheap, and it doesn't look very nice, which it shows that your employee is so scared to tell that I work in this company too. You can use my service
Yeah.
too. No, they cannot open their mouth and say that here my company and my business as well. They will not very proud of saying that. So then you miss a chance that your employee cannot become your promoter to promote your business to their friends. So your
Correct.
employee friend will be stand out than your company. So and
Yeah.
that's how graphic design can help unite all the members at the same time and provide more consistency, and like build a proud moment for your employee to stand out
Yeah.
and say that, hey, this is my company that I'm working with, and I'm really proud of it. And like we provide a cool thing, blah blah blah. So that's how
Mm.
graphic design make it happen.
Right, right. So in that sense, like employees work towards having like an employee pride because it allows them to differentiate from other rival companies. Right. I would say like graphic design is kind of like a uniform for
Mm,
companies to unite their employees
yeah.
because there is a consistency in the company's branding, which is the next reason. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have mentioned about the branding consistency once in when I talking about employee pride point. So, and that's
Mm.
like every business, even like basically is like the small business owner. They it's a common misconception that they think building a brand consistent is very expensive. Like
Mm.
it doesn't have to spend a 10K or like a thousands at once. It's a step by
Yeah.
step process. Building a brand consistency is a step by step process. You cannot just do it at once and spend all at once. So you can actually
Right.
start from small step first, a baby step first. So to unite your websites to your materials, to your advertising posters, to your advertising material, to your banner, by like make all the color look the same, look very consistency, the type, the text. But yet, even though you try to make your brand consistency, but you still can't introduce creativity to it. It doesn't have to always look boring all the time. You can introduce more creativity, but and that's how you can make your advertising material look really creative, but at the same time unite with all others material as well. So it's a
Right.
baby step. So graphic design can make it
Big
happen,
step.
which means that we provide graphic design can provide a very good visual in a way that is very unite with all other materials. So it create a very common brand image, brand visual, so that your customer will easy to remember your brand. I have one example. Like the
Mm, yes.
customer they come to me when we do their poster for their social media. We try to make
Mhm.
sure that all of the posters look united, but yet we provide also the creativity concept into it. But we tend to use the
Mm.
same like not layout, sorry, the same like colors, brand,
Design.
yeah, the
Yeah.
same brand colors and everything. And they come to me and say, hey, it looks so blue because their brand is blue, and we try to introduce a lot of like blue color to make sure that every poster that we made for them is look consistent on their social media page and align with their brand as well. And they said it's look too much blue. I don't. I want more vibrance. I want more color, but uh, at the same time, we not just only provide only blue color all the time, but we use blue colors as a primary color and others color that show more, like vibrant to the brand, like gold color or maybe green color through the image
Yeah.
and everything. So that's
Yeah.
in the long run, you can see how important it is and how much you can save from this bad stuff from one to another.
Hmm. Right. So like every communications material needs to have a very consistent design. Like for example, like the way they arrange iconography, typography, font size, etc. And like especially for a small business, they need to step up to get themselves in the market because you have to think in the long term where small businesses they want to scale up. Right. You
Yeah.
cannot just be like, oh, we're just a small company. We need to save money, and we don't
Yeah.
want to spend on expensive design. So
Yes.
we want to scale and all. So
Yes.
this leads us to our next point about how making a brand consistent in your early years can help you save money in the long run.
Yeah. So like every small business owner, they say that we just small, and we don't have
Mhm.
to invest on a graphic design, or we don't have to invest on this kind of thing. First, we have to get sales first. We have to get like brand out. Again, they use the word brand. They have to make sure that all their customer know about their brand. Without graphic design, how they can make it happen now? you know
Mhm.
they will lost times, and time is mean money. So
Yes.
they not sell anything. They try to sell a couple bucks for each design material they try to sell. They try to use, I'm sorry to say that, but they try to use a cheap design, and they say that, oh,
Mhm.
it already good for our small business, but they don't realize that it will hurt them in the long run. It will hurt them in the next 3 years or in the future. When they are ready to scale their business, they will say, "Oh, I'm stupid that for the last 3 years. I'm sorry to use the negative word. For the last 3 years, my my poster looks so cheap, and their customer will image that in a different way when that
Oh yeah.
their posters look not on point. They don't have a brand consistency. They don't have so the customers, the audience, they don't put a lot of worth into their brand. They will convey, oh, it's not a expensive brand. So when they're ready to scale up their business, they miss this point, which means they don't start from the first step. They just don't want to start from the first step, and they think they are not ready. You have to look
Yeah.
expensive even you are small business, even you are small, and that's true. And that's true in the in the in this kind of industry. Like even right now it's 2020, maybe tomorrow is 2021. So people, they look something for more vibrant, for more dominance. You have to look bold among your rivals. You
Correct.
run a business, you don't want to run a business in the background. You want to run a business, you need to run a business to make sure that you pop up in the markets. So
Yeah.
yes,
That's uh-huh.
yeah. So
Okay.
that's how it works. You don't
Uh,
save money right now. You just hurt yourself in the futures. And after all, you
mm.
have to clean that up, and then you have to spend more money in the future. So
Yeah, to repair your mistakes, right?
yes,
Where
correct.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I see, I see. So maybe now we could mention to the next final point about how graphic design can help your brand convey the right message.
Right. So uh, when I start this point, I have to give some clear example. I've been
Mhm.
worked with several customers. They don't like the design, and they use their emotions and their feeling toward the design. They say, "Oh, I don't like this color. I like more rose gold. I like more, like classic kind of look. I like more black and white." And hey, you know what the business
Yeah,
they run? They run a toy store. So
yeah,
so they use their emotion and kind of feeling to judge on the design, and that's a
right.
misconception, and they don't understand who they're trying to sell. They don't try to create a business to sell to themselves. They try to create a
Mhm.
business to sell to their customers, so they have to understand their target customer and how to reach to them. And this is
Yes.
a very important point for all business owners, all small business owners out there. Don't try to use your emotions and your feeling to judge the graphic design work when your graphic designers show to you. You have to understand that how this poster can translate a message to my audience. This is the question you have to answer. So if you run a toy store, you have to make sure your poster look attractive to kids. You have to make sure that your artwork is readable and understandable by kids. You have to look fun, cool, fun that is related to kids. But when you create a brand that you sell, like a perfume to the rich people, you want to make it look expensive, correct?
Yeah.
You want to
Right.
make it look classic, expensive. You don't want to introduce one like a colorful color or fun font to your poster. So that's you translate that your perfume is look cheap, and so you cannot sell your perfume in like to the rich customer. So when you decide to work on each communication material, make sure that these materials communicate to the right audience, and graphic design can convey the right message to the right audience. I give
All
example.
right.
Yeah, you give example like Christmas. uh, Again, I use
Yes.
Christmas because right now is Christmas season. I like Christmas.
Me too.
I like Christmas a lot. It's fun, it's very colorful, it's very green and red. Oh, I cannot say. it's very a good seasons to think about. Graphic design can make it happen. When you design your 50% promotion for Christmas season, you have to use. You doesn't have to use, but you can use with like color, for example, like red and green color, the snow, white and blue. You have Christmas tree, you have a Christmas ornament, the kind of thing. So, graphic design can make those visual very appealing for anyone who interested in the Christmas seasons. And they said, hey, we give 50% off. And they use it differently when they do Valentine promotions. They use it differently. It's when we coming to Chinese New Year promotion. So graphic design can convey the right message to the right audience, and that's the thing that every small business owner they have to think about.
Yes, correct. It's so important to convey the right message at the right time. Importance of graphic design for a small business. So to sum up, graphic designs help to create first impressions, build trust, enhance sales, create employee pride, improve brand consistency, save money in the long run, and convey the right message to customers. So, do you have anything else to say, Mr.
No, I think I'm good. But you can tell our audience that what will be coming up next.
All right. So thank you so much for tuning in to our podcast, and we hope you enjoyed it. Do keep up with our social media channels for more free content like this. Our next episode will go live next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Same time, same place. If you need any advice to improve your brand design, feel free to reach out via email or Facebook message, and we will gladly assist you. So thank you once again, and this is your host Aisha and Mr. Chit signing out.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.